In a family of 9, we go through a lot of laundry. In today's video, I'm going to show you how to make a powdered homemade laundry soap that works.
Welcome to the From Scratch Farmhouse. Come learn with us.
If you are new here, I'm Stacy from the blog FromScratchFarmhouse.com, where I share our family's journey to becoming homesteaders and the switch to making everything homemade. If you want more tutorials like this one, homesteading how-tos, or you just want to follow along in our family's journey, make sure you hit that subscribe button. Okay, let's just dive right into this tutorial on how to make powdered homemade laundry soap that works. The first step is going to be to gather your ingredients. The first thing you're going to need is washing soda, which is not the same thing as baking soda. I've been told that you can make your own washing soda by taking baking soda, putting it thinly in a pan in the oven for about an hour at 450. However, I've also been told that it's pretty hard to see when it makes that chemical shift from being baking soda to washing soda. So in a pinch, yes, you could make it, but it's pretty cheap at the store. This is oxygenated bleach, which I purchased from Azure in bulk. Then you will also need some soap. You can use your soap of choice. You can use homemade soap, which is what I plan to use in the future. This is just what I had on hand. You're also going to need a bowl for mixing your ingredients, a container for storing it in later, a knife, a cutting board, and a food processor is super handy. Although you can make do with a cheese grater, it's just going to be a little bit more work. The recipe for this powdered laundry detergent is 4 cups of washing soda, 14 ounces of bar soap, and 1 cup of oxygen-powered bleach. You will start by pouring 4 cups of the washing soda into your mixing bowl. You'll probably notice that I'm not super exact with my measuring. Honestly, you want to keep your proportions approximately the same as mine, but I wouldn't get hung up on perfection here. Also, I want to mention that this recipe is not for a huge amount, but you can easily double or triple or quadruple this recipe. My limiting factor this day was my lack of bar soap on hand, but normally I would at least double it since that is exactly 1 box of washing soda. Now I want to say a little bit about this oxygen-powered bleach since some of you may be unfamiliar with it. It is in fact the same thing as the brand name OxiClean. The difference being that OxiClean, depending on the type you buy, often has some additional additives. Let me read the back to you to give you an idea of what this is. Color-safe stain removal with the power of oxygen to brighten, soften, whiten naturally. Skip the absorption of toxic dioxins with this effective alternative. So now I'm just going to add a cup of this oxygen-powered bleach to the bowl. I purchased this specific brand through Azure Standard. However, you can find it easily online. I will leave a link below. Now you just want to take your spoon and mix it well. Your main goal here is just to break up any clumps. Honestly, I usually start out with a spoon and then end up deciding that my hands are just better at the job. But do whatever works for you. Next, you will grab your bar soap. If you're using a food processor, you're going to be roughly chopping the bar into smaller pieces, simply so that your food processor can handle it. And yes, it's completely fine to put soap in your food processor. Just wash it well after you're done so that no soap residue remains. If you're instead using a cheese grater, you're going to just finely grate the bar directly into your bowl at this point. Mix well, and that will be your finished product. For those using the food processor, you will be placing the small chunks of soap in it, and then you're going to want to just press pulse a few times to break the soap down without overworking the machine. Once you can see that it is in smaller pieces, you can then set it to chop, or you can just pulse it for longer periods of time on high until you reach the consistency you are looking for. I usually pop off the lid and check on it a few times during this process. You will see it turning into little balls. Really, the finer the better. The best way I can think to describe what it looks like is if you have ever made dough where you cut in the butter. As you cut in butter, it forms a very similar texture. Once you get it to this point, you're going to dump the now finely chopped soap into the bowl and mix it well with your other ingredients. For some reason, I did not get a shot of me doing this, but you get the idea. Okay, the last step for those using the food processor is to take 2 cups at a time and run it through one last time. The powdered ingredients are actually going to help break down and incorporate the soap even further and give you a consistency much more like store-bought. I really think this step can be a game changer if you have ever tried making powdered laundry soap before and did not have success. For me at least, I had problems in the past with going to scoop some for the washer and getting an inconsistent mix of ingredients in my scoop. The different things within the recipe I'd always seemed to want to separate, which, when this happens, it can negatively affect how well the soap works. Finally, as you run it through that last round in the food processor, you can then just transfer it straight to your storage container. It is pretty satisfying to see that container fill up and know that you have replaced an often chemical-laden home product for something safe, healthy, and that you have had complete control over the ingredients of. Alright, that's it. It's so fast and easy you will soon be wondering why you ever bought ready-made laundry soap. To use your homemade laundry detergent, you will simply add 2 tablespoons to your normal detergent dispenser. Well, I hope this video was a help. If it was, please hit that like button. Also, make sure you hit subscribe so that you don't miss out on my future content.
Okay, good job. We're done. Now I'm gonna actually do laundry.